Hello friends, I'm Joanna from Joanna Miranda Studio, and this is my video series, Art Bag, Time-Saving Tips and Tricks. When I color my character illustrations, I try to add the watercolor in a way that looks as loose and free as the ink drawings themselves. And in today's video, I'm going to talk specifically about how I do skin color, and in particular, how I go about adding blush to my characters. I'll also show you how choosing to use unusual colors for the color of the face can really bump up the way the character's feelings and mood come across to the viewer. For my skin coloring demonstration, I of course need to have some faces, and so I'm going to draw those. But before I start drawing, let me just show you the supplies I'm using. I have my Noodler's Ahab Flex fountain pen. I have a piece of multi-purpose media paper here. I have a paper towel to blot off excess ink and watercolor. And I have my fan watercolor palette along with the water brush pen. I also have a piece of scrap paper so that I can always test my pen and my paintbrush, water brush with the watercolor before I splotch it down onto the faces. Okay, so let's get started with the drawing. I need 4 different faces, I think, so I have no idea what I'm going to do, but let's just start. I do like to draw big noses sometimes. Kind of make this a Salvador Dali guy. And I think I'll give him a beret of sorts. And give him some hair like mine, which is badly in need of a haircut. Coming soon, I promise. And maybe, I'm not going to actually color all of this, but I'll give him a little scarf. Alright, so there's my first face that's going to be colored. Second face, let me make this going in a different direction. Make this guy kind of happy. And his t-shirt. Okay. And then we need 2 more faces so that I can demonstrate the 2 different kind of radical colors of ink for the faces that I'm going to use. So let's make somebody who's really angry. Maybe he's hangry. He's hungry and angry. Giant ear. Or maybe he's angry because he only has 1 hair on his head. Okay. And the last one, let's make a guy who, let's see, is not actually feeling all that well. In fact, he's not sure if he's going to be able to hold his lunch down. Maybe he ate a bad clam. Give him a t-shirt again. And he's kind of sweating. Okay. There are my 4 faces. Now let's get on to the coloring. To color my characters, I'm going to start over here in the left. It is actually helpful to start on the left-hand side of the page if you're right-handed, because then you work across the page. You're not going to smear your work. I'm hoping that the ink has had long enough to dry. Oh, and I did realize, well, I'll leave it for now. This guy's supposed to be wearing glasses, but I haven't put the legs on his glasses yet. I'm going to bring my water fan palette down here so you can see. So I'm just using a kind of Caucasian skin-colored shade that I've mixed up. And I'm going to be kind of ginger about working over the black ink because, as you can see, it is still a little bit wet, so it might smear. It's okay. Give him a little bit of reflection in his glasses. And while the cheek color is still very wet, I go in with a little pink and I just dab a little pink there, and I can intensify that a little bit. I'm putting the little dab in the center, and as you can see, it spreads out and it creates a nice little blush look. Okay? So that's, I'm going to let that dry as I proceed. The next color we're going to use, let's make this guy African American. So I'm probably can't see my color palette here, but mixing up a brown that's a little bit darker than I wanted, but that's okay. Oops, there goes the cap of my pen. It's okay. So, and I'm going to use a slightly darker cheek color for his blush than the one I did before because it'll show up better. So it's actually a more wine color. And again, this, oops, brown is still fairly wet. And the good thing about working with this water brush pen is that you can immediately diffuse the pigment if it's gotten too saturated. Okay, and we'll just let it do its thing. Again, I'm keeping it pretty free. Now for this guy, he's the angry one, and why not make him actually kind of red in the face? Before I gave him the red tint, I'm adding some water. I did brush the water brush pen into the red first, but then I diluted it, wiped off the excess watercolor. Now I can go in and add more pigment to the wet page. Okay, you can see he's really, really angry. And I even intensify the cheeks a little bit. That immediately looks like he's about to blow his stack. And then the last guy here, let's make him looking sick. And to make him looking sick, we're going to use same technique. We're going to first add some water, keep the skin shade fairly dilute. And then I'm actually going to pick up a nasty green for skin tone. And I'm not going to worry about blush because I think when you're feeling this ill, you're just basically green. You're not going to have blush. Okay. And he's about to toss his cookies. So last thing I wanted to do is just add the legs to the stem of my glasses here. Okay. And there we have 4 different characters with very different expressions and different skin colors. And that's it for today's Art Bag time-saving tips and tricks video. If you've enjoyed this video, I hope you'll consider giving it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget that I post these videos every Monday and Friday. If you haven't subscribed already to my channel, maybe consider doing so. And don't forget to toggle on the little bell, because if you do that, you will get a notification every time I post a new video. Thanks so much for watching.